Is he talking to somebody? What the?
He got a collar shirt.
Are you talking to us?
Nah, he ain't talking to us. He on a whole phone call.
He ain't talking to us. Damn.
Like a call center worker.
He definitely do, right? Yeah. He look like that telemarketer that he'd be like, you gonna buy this shit.
Look, hey, did you get your discount on your electrical bill? We're a third-party group from XYZ Solar Panels. There you go right there.
Listen here. It's the end of the month. I need to make something happen.
There you go. Look, he doing right now. Look at his face. He look aggressive. That's aggressive sales right there.
Give me 1 second. Go ahead, though.
You're listening to the Hot Seed Podcast.
Seed.
In New York.
Oh, you're home now?
Yeah, we're home. But...
Tell her.
What's happening right now? Welcome all. I'm Shawn, along with my co-host, Earl. You're on mute, man. This whole thing is starting off wrong. You're on mute. You still on mute.
Yo, it's been a while. Yo, what's going on?
It is.
Shit.
I'm gonna do it for Dave. Dave, yes sir.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
And of course, man, we're just dads with bikes, gamers and headsets, and a whole lot of unfiltered conversation. And as always, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seed Podcast. Be sure to listen, rate, review, share, and most importantly, enjoy on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite shows. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, man, at the Hot Seed Podcast. You like looking or listening, however you decide to digest our particular podcast itself. And of course, our official hotseedpodcast.com website is online now. And that's where you can go there and get 20% off your merchandise when you become a supporter of the show with the Hot Seed Podcast Plus. So subscribe. I tell you, can't even talk today.
Take your time, brother.
Follow it.
We all messed up.
Yes, it's all weird right now. It's fine, man. Episode 152. Welcome back, folks, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome back, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Look, I do apologize for the beginning, but when Mama calls, you got to pick up. So I apologize for not putting that on mute. But man, it's been a minute, bro. Like I was telling Shawn, man, I was sitting up here. I was like, damn, how we work this thing again? Oh yeah, I got a camera. Oh yeah, I got a backdrop. I was like, oh man, it's been a minute. Got to get my lights right. Got to get everything connected.
Right. I still look a little bright now. I got a sheen on my face. I'm like, I got to figure this thing out. But hey.
That's the long way of saying I missed this. You know what I mean?
Facts, man. How's it? I know we were doing some grilling. I seen how the grilling working out. Summer's winding down, a little bit. So
for those of you that don't know, probably for the last, what would you say, about a good 8-9 years, I've been on pretty much the propane, but I love the grill, and even though the propane is efficient, get out there, do what you need to do and get out. It's not the full grill experience.
True story.
So I sat back and finally one of my boys pushed me to go out and get this charcoal grill, but it's not a regular one. It's what is called a Gravity Series one through Master Build. So you can look it up to see the difference in it. But the one thing about this grill, it does everything. Smoking it, pizza oven, all that different type of stuff. I probably cook on this thing, if not every other day, every third day. Easily. I was just telling Shawn about the price of charcoal. And you sit up here looking at the different forms of charcoal, the lump charcoal, that's what I use. So I don't know. It's that thing. You hear how we talk about lawn and stuff like that. Same thing with the grilling, man. Absolutely. If I can find a way to grill some cereal, I'll figure it out. I'll smoke that joint. I will figure it out. I definitely made breakfast out there plenty of times, but I haven't.
Why is my cereal warm? I don't like it.
So when I come
figure it
back out, bro, anything you cook, I want it on the grill, dog. Like
That's it.
I definitely
That's
want
it.
breakfast on the grill because that's my favorite. Yeah.
That's
First
it,
of all,
man.
let me stop Earl right because I'm gonna remind all of you folks who are watching and listening. Or else when I come back out, Earl has to pass me to go to Dave. I cook and grill probably more than Dave. Not
You ain't
one.
never home. You always working, man.
Hey, y'all know one of these people that, man, I was right up the street from you, bro. I didn't know if you was
No,
home. He
no.
called me.
No. So look, and I had told him that we talked the other day. I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, I didn't even think to call you.
What?
No, I didn't, and I'm gonna tell you why. I didn't even think to call you because you was away on work again, working.
Wrong answer.
So I was like,
when you just went down, yeah.
Because I was like, I didn't know. I thought you were still going because you haven't been on the box. And I think me and Dave was on here talking. He's like, damn, I ain't talked to Shawn in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I thought you was still away. And then it didn't matter anyway because I found out you was at fucking work the day that I came down. So it didn't matter.
But I came home later. No.
I was already passed the hell out by then.
I was home by like 1 o'clock that day.
Blame
in
it
the
on
afternoon.
In the afternoon.
Oh, so you should have said.
And you know what I did that day? I grilled.
Grill.
I posted about it.
Wow.
I literally said,
Wow.
hey, it's a pool cleaning day, which means I'm grilling. Exactly what I did. You know. Yeah.
Nobody knows.
I had no idea.
Wrong answer, brother. Oh, man.
Usually when I come to Maryland, I don't even come through Baltimore. I mean, I don't stop in Baltimore.
That's good. You ain't got to go through Baltimore because I don't live in Baltimore. I live outside of Baltimore.
Well, yeah. I mean, because I went to Pikesville, so it wasn't.
That's literally 10 minutes from me.
Got to get real. Got to get real.
Right,
you set them up, I'd knock them down.
Next time, you need to communicate.
I swear. This guy's man. Welcome back.
All that came from grilling.
Yeah, all of it came from grilling. Like I said, I was out of the country, man. I was back in Canada once again. Work stuff. And I will say this. I don't know what the hell is going on. Well, to buffer our point about the earth. The earth is on fire. The climate change is real. Because again, it's not as much of a story as it was, I guess, 2 years ago when they had those huge wildfires up there that was covering New York and Jersey and even affecting us down here in the DMV area. But they had like a forest fire or wildfire, we can call it, up in Jasper, north of Jasper, a couple of weeks ago. So while I'm up in Calgary, so from my hotel, I could see one day I could see the city, not a problem. The next morning, I see nothing at all. And then I talked to one of the locals there. They say, yeah, that's just the smoke coming over. I'm like, I'm glad I got asthma or some shit. This ain't it. And this happens all the time. And I bring that up because where I was working at and this airport that I was at, up the Calgary airport, I guess it would have been maybe 3 weeks ago now. They had a really, 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 and I can express how bad this was, bad hailstorm. So much so that it collapsed the roof of one of the concourses, Concourse B out there, completely destroyed it. They were talking about hail about the size of baseballs. Their local, I guess, airline there is WestJet. They have like they're a Delta partner. They had to take, I think, somewhere around, I think they said like 14 to 15 planes out of service to inspect them because of the hail, which means it caused for a lot of cancellations, which I didn't even think I was going to get out of there maybe until I found out I was on Delta. And that's only because they didn't affect that plane up there. I talked to someone else. They was like, you would think that we had 3 foot of snow. It was nothing but hail. Like, bruh. So this is in Canada now. You think Canada, you think cold, think stuff like that. People talking about, hey, man, it was so hot up here. We're thinking about getting the AC. In Canada, shit, this is like the equivalent of Seattle a few years ago when they had temperatures that was reaching like up to 100 degrees in Seattle, Washington. So, we're going to talk about some other stuff here that's going to tie into this. But when you see the conversation around climate change and all that, that's just not something they're just saying to get likes. That's actually happening. We live in the DMV area here, and these storms out here are getting more violent every time they passed through. I had to bolt down my gazebo because I thought I was gonna get swept up by a tornado. Yo, it ain't it. But we welcome back. Welcome back to the pod, man. Welcome back to the pod. We just want to dive in right into some conversation. As Earl, goes away. We back doing our regular thing. So look, and there you go again. So let's jump right into it, man. The race is on. The race is on. If you've been watching TV or streaming online, you have seen the Republican National Convention about a week or so ago. And then right now, timestamp guy is August 22nd. The Democratic National Convention is going on now. I think we're in day 3 now. I believe it is day 3. If I'm correct.
Well, it's day 4.
Yeah, day 4. My bad. What's being the
Just
final
the last
night
day. Yep.
when Vice President Kamala Harris and presumed Democratic nominee will announce her official, presidency. Well, is that what I'm looking for? Candidacy. There you go. I had it all messed up. But yeah, man. Just from going back in TV readings, they're saying just over the night 1, over 20 million people tuned in to the DNC. Just in night 1, and that's only by going off of Nielsen. So they're not even including the streaming sites and stuff like that. And the numbers could be even higher. And then, of course, that outdoes what the night 1 was for the Republican National Convention, which outside of it being, from some people I've read in the media, it being a shit show.
Listen, don't bring up numbers and crowd sizes, bro.
I'm not yet. That's
we don't want Trump calling us, man.
Absolutely not. But what has been you guys' take from either side, man? Because I know we got a lot of stuff to talk about in this. So what's jump right in there.
So I'm always open to both sides as far as just hearing what the conversational pieces are.
Right.
But I gotta admit to you, I couldn't make it through the whole week of the RNC joint. It just, there was nothing. I gotta put it bluntly, there was nothing for me.
Yeah,
that was being discussed. It was honestly a shit show to me.
Yeah,
I don't care if you're for Trump or not. Like it didn't seem together. It just seemed like a whole bunch of people that just wanted to come up on stage and just rant, just go. There were a couple of speakers that got up there, but I'll give you an example of someone that just kind of just threw me off. If anybody heard about Hulk Hogan's speech, now, mind you, let me rewind for you.
Yeah.
You're coming from a person that doesn't watch it much anymore. But if you're talking about as a child being raised up on the WWF and a diehard wrestling fan, mainly Hulk Hogan fan and Ultimate Warrior and all those, the Bushwhackers, all that time period. I was so disappointed, bro. And it's not the fact that he was for Trump. It had nothing to do with him being for Trump. If you heard how he was speaking, and even afterwards, some of the things that you weren't supposed to hear, like I just recently heard that he made a statement about, hey, y'all want me to go out there and slam Kamala? Are you serious? This is the conversation that you're having right now? Like, I used to feel a certain type of way about even in his later years, because if people don't remember, that man was on the line of dying. Like he was almost gone. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yeah. I remember that. And to go from that to a person that honestly I don't need to hear from ever again. If that's the way he's standing there, I just really don't need to hear from him ever again. That's the type of feel I was getting from like every other speaker. And that's what people aren't understanding. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, non-committal, whoever you're voting for. That it's whatever. But you know the difference between right and wrong. We're going back to kid shit. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? We're going back to parents talking to kids. Like, you know the difference between right and wrong. That's how I'm speaking to some of these people. Like, come on, bro. Really? This is what we're talking about? So Dave, I think that's the difference in the feelings. Go ahead.
Do they though? And then also too, like even to your point, I wasn't disappointed in this fool because I'm like my expectations for him has gone down.
Which one?
Hope.
Okay.
My expectations for him went down back when we heard about how he felt about black folks You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, my child,
a black guy, I believe.
Yeah, well, yeah. When that them audios came out or whatever, like my childhood was
just
done
white
with.
clean.
Yeah. And I was all right with it because at that point I was an adult because I think that's when I found out. But I was like, okay, and that was one of the many things that made me realize, like, yo, okay, so there's another side to what we see when we're younger, But then it's just it's stupidity. Like, again, and we done had these conversations. I'm on the side of, on paper, yes, I'm a Democrat, right? But I'm on the end of, who's the candidate that's going to best speak to me and the issues that I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not even on the party side. But with this situation, I'm like, yo, it ain't even a Democrat Republican. It's just the fact that the better candidate and just the safer candidate for the country, in my opinion, is Kamala. Because what's her name is a tyrant. Like we call it the United States of America, and he's done everything but other than unite the states. It's like it's been divisive. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because it's like you looking at these other countries, like we're in a vulnerable state right now. Yeah. I think somebody said we in like 3 wars. We're part of 3 wars. We're dealing with the Ukraine, or at least funding Ukraine and Russia, the Israel and Gaza, the Gaza Strip, and then the internal civil, that you're dealing with. And it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
He'll tell the thing that gets me is from the other side, you'll hear all these points of why Kamala shouldn't be in there, or whoever is on that side shouldn't be there. And it's so ironic to me that they're saying it, because then I'm like, do you know who's running on your side? Right. Like, do you realize they'll be like, oh, she's standing for nothing. There's no policy. Trump don't talk about no policy. When he talks about immigration, I'll just shut it down. Yeah. When he talks about foreign affairs, I'm friends with everybody. Right. Ain't nothing gonna happen on my watch. Like that's his policy. That's as much and how deep he goes in the policy, but that's his stance, and they go with it. And then the other person will put out a couple of things about their policy, and it's like, oh, she didn't go deep enough. And I'm just like, what? And what also frustrates me is half the people that be speaking on certain people's behalf, he ain't speaking on yours. Mm-hmm. He don't give 2 damn. Dave Chappelle said it best. He's talking for me. Yep. I'm rich. I'm rich, bitch. He ain't talking for you. Right. So when people just think all these changes are going to happen, first of all, it just doesn't work that way no matter what side is in there. No matter what side is in there. If you think the government is about to solve all your problems, you are in the wrong world. Forget nation. You're in the wrong world. It's not happening. You have to do for yourself. Yep. So when people look at this, I just tell them to break it down and just really realize, forget that party stuff for a moment. What are the certain things that you're looking for? Specific things. Like I remember, Earl, we were just talking and you were talking about the whole thing of forgiveness on student loans. Well, who you think gonna get that to you? Because Trump already said it shouldn't exist. As far as relinquishing and wiping away the student loans. Yeah. So this is the things that you should stand for. If you're a woman and we're talking about like reproductive things and this is where people get it wrong. I don't think people stir it to the way of, oh, are you for abortion or against abortion? It ain't about that. It's about the right to have the actual decision out there.
Yeah, the choice.
The actual choice. Yeah. There's people that ain't for abortion that still don't want certain things to be taken off the table because now you're taking away the choice. You're telling me, as a bunch of men, mostly sitting around the table,
a bunch of men.
But you got it. Yeah. You know what I want to go.
Yeah, I know. Because I was about to say it and I stopped myself.
But a bunch of men sitting around the table making decisions for a woman.
Right.
And that's what I've always disagreed with. Now, if they sat around the table as a whole, as a majority, and made that decision, then it's a whole nother thing.
Right.
But these are the type of things that people see it for what is presented through the news instead of digging deeper. And you're going to see it. That's going to be a running theory that when we go into certain things of this episode, don't just take it for what's on the cover. Open the damn book. Don't read the clip notes. Open the damn book. What you think, Shawn?
Damn book.
So this is the part that is so disheartening from it. So of course the Democratic and the Republican National Convention, and I had to do a little bit of digging on to see how far this goes back. This goes back to 1831 with Henry Clay when he first did the first.
Bill Clinton was at half of them.
1831. I hope not.
He was talking about it. Go ahead.
Playing the trumpet. And what people fail to realize, I know the headliner, if you want to call it that, is the party's nominee, their presidential nominee. And I think we know people in there that they get these delegate votes and they end up, presenting, voting in who their nominee for their party going to be. But that part right there is what is important and is forgotten about. A lot of your state leaders and stuff, they're all attending these events, these conventions. And some of them are actually solid. Case in point, Governor Hogan, me and Dave are big fans of his. Yep. He's a Republican. Imagine him having to be at that convention with that bullshit that's happening. So it makes you, even though you're not even rocking with dude like that, but since you're in the party, you get like the guilty by association type thing. He's like, bro, I don't even like him. But it's become such a thing. Again, I think Dave always says it. There's the Republican Party no longer exists. It's called the Trump Party, or whatever, the MAGA Party, and stuff like that. Yeah. And it'll continue to be that way. Unfortunately, I'm not wishing it. Unfortunately, until dude's out of here. Until he's out of here. Until then, because even then, for all intents and purposes, he probably will lose this race just based off of if you look at the injury round. But you never know.
No,
but,
I ain't even. I can't make that. He got the Supreme Court on the side.
Right.
So
but
it's always a possibility
situation. But let's say it does happen. He's still going to be around, which means that he still hasn't, served the second term. You don't think he's going to try to run it back again 4 years from now? And by then he'll be 90? But his ass will be willing to still do, you know what I'm saying?
They need to step up.
Right.
They need to get backbone and step up.
Right, because nothing else, like what Dave said, Republican or Democrat. On the Republican side, it's some solid Republican dudes out there. He's like, I want to be out there and run, but I can't do anything I want to do because I got this thing hanging over me right now.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's solid ones out there, man. And I don't want to spend this time just talking about on the Republican side. So let me tell you the wake-up call even on the Democratic side.
Exactly.
For this whole shit show that just went on in the last month and a half with the whole Biden thing, they should feel ashamed of themselves. Number one,
right?
They did Kamala Harris wrong. Because if for whatever reason she doesn't win, it's not on her. You threw her into the mix. And when I say threw her, people are like, oh, well, she was VP and stuff. Was she? Did they promote her these last 3.5 years?
Right.
Did you see her in front of the screen and presenting certain policies and things like? No. They hardly put her out there.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, they want her to serve as savior. And maybe she's able to do it. But that's a very tough take to be thrown into. So that's number one. Number two, they let down the party in general. Did it just pop in front of them that Biden was old? And that he was getting older? And that he's serving in one of the most stressful positions ever? During one of the most stressful times ever, coming out of a pandemic and things like that, and the economy, and now all these wars going on around the world. Like, nobody thought to go, hey, you think he's all right to do a second term? like that is a problem. You have all these younger leaders out there in the Democratic Party, and they don't push them. They don't push them. We hear about them locally, but the nation has to hear about them. Think about it. Barack Obama popped in front of us all at a DNC from a speech.
Exactly.
And everybody was like, who's this guy? And I'm going to say it as it is because it sounds bad as it says. They're like, everybody was like, he speak good. Let's just be real. Everybody's like, damn. Like really out there doing this thing. Why do we have to get to that point? Why does it have to be thrown upon us in that sense? Like they didn't know who was there. Like they didn't feel like they needed younger people out there. Earl talks about it all the time. Why are we sitting here being ruled and following decisions by people of a time that's changing so fast and people that are not changing with the times?
Preach.
So that's what I get mad about when all of a sudden, let's talk to the black people every 4 years. Let's talk to the Hispanics every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about people that just came into the country every 4 years. Oh, let's talk about voter registration every 4 years.
Right.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Meanwhile, Republicans over there moving things around in different states, showing how a certain portion of that state is going to be more important as far as votes than this portion of the state.
Exactly.
People don't realize that that's how it breaks down. It matters where you're voting at, moving voting locations, changing rules. Certain IDs aren't going to work in certain states. Like, come on, man. Come on. Why don't we just have it one way across the nation? Why does it have to be so hard to vote? Yet I can sign off on a paper and put a gun in my hand and go fight for the country.
You out here preaching.
Yeah, dropping bars on it.
Hey, you out here preaching. You ate today?
Look, man, I took the pizza, bro.
Right
The pizza, bro. But go ahead. I go on this all day.
It was I mean, just to piggyback on that, man, and not much to add. Again, the DNC looked like a fun time. It always looks like a fun time. You had probably one of the most revered presidents there has been in the last, I don't know, 50 years, probably in Barack Obama and his wife, Michelle Obama. Dates. You could feel the energy change through the TV when they walked, when they went up on stage. You had Governor Westmore out of Maryland, and Maryland is going to play a major part in this year's election. They had some heavy hitters, man, delegates out. They had some folks out there. But again, to his point, you don't see this except for this time. You don't see this any other time. So much so that couple I just spoke on, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, they were talking to everybody in the room, just like the people attended. But it's like they were like, "Hey, stop complaining and do something." Yeah, you get the little corny chant, "Do something," whatever they are. But they legit like, "Hey, what are you complaining about? Do something about it." That means if you are a delegate, if you a person in some type of position, hey, put feet to the ground and go meet the people where they are. Don't wait until it's time for the voting aspect. And now you're scrambling to get people registered. And then you have situations to where, to your point, this isn't allowed, this is disqualified, you can't do here, this can't here. It's all these things, because what's going to end up happening is you think you get that popular vote. And go ahead and reach out to Hillary Clinton real quick and ask her how they worked out for her when she won that popular vote, but still lost.
And her speech was good because she was real with it.
Right.
She basically told them, "Hey, we seen this.
Yeah.
So don't let off the gas."
She said Hillary did that, so hopefully you wouldn't have to go through that.
If you know, you know.
That's good.
If you know, you know. It's again, Vice President Kamala Harris, she speaks tonight. And her speech, and I'm eager to see how that goes. You know, is it all just, sides and no main entree, or if it's a mixture of both? We're gonna see, man. It's gonna see, because that's one thing you definitely did not get out on the other side. There ain't really nothing got talked about in that. It was just a bunch of rambling. It really was. And that's the part that's become embarrassing. It was just like, bro, this is
I
crazy.
can't even really say I saw it. Like I watched the DNC, but I didn't tune into the Republican convention.
I just told Shawn I couldn't get through the whole week because it was nothing there.
It's
for me.
It's a lot of stuff, man.
And it's tough because, like Shawn was saying earlier, there's good people over there, and I'm just like, just get that backbone to talk about what you feel.
They prisoners of it now.
Like he's ripped on more than half of them that have to speak in his favor. Think about that. This man has talked about women, talked about
His own VP
minorities. done
was
talked
what a
about-
VP ain't like.
They were saying they said it on the Democratic Party. They said it, and asked the Vance that's running as the VP now on that ticket. They said, "Don't you realize why your position was open and that you were able to take it? They tried to kill the VP. like
But
you really want to hold this position? He already let you know what he feels about it."
It was an article. I don't have it in front of me, but something changed or something in Georgia, and Trump was jumping on Georgia. I'm like, bro, and it was like something in his favor. It was like a whole thing, but I'm like, he was clowning state of Georgia. I'm like, all right.
Well, he was clowning I think the governor that's still in place down there about the count.
Yeah.
But what he did, once again, this goes back to what I was just talking about. While Democrats are running around not realizing what's going on from year to year,
right?
Republicans, specifically on the Trump side, and this is why I say it's very strategic. Don't think he's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
He slowly but surely through the 4 years put in place, specifically in Georgia, a committee that overlooks voting, and it's mostly his people.
Yeah,
I think he replaced 3 people on that board. So if anything goes down in Georgia and anything's a little bit close, guess who looks over that? You see what I'm saying? So it's
just
crazy to me.
To close this segment out, this is a transition, man. I'll tell you one person this want to happen to. Ross Perot. I miss that guy. He was dope. This is the Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Shawn, Earl, Dave, and I'm not serious about that, but Ross Perot was cool. He always ran.
Is he still living?
I don't know, bro. I feel like he is because he crazy rich. He might be in like a cryo thing or something. Crazy rich.
Because he's crazy rich.
Because he's crazy rich.
Crazy rich people live for a while. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Shawn, Earl, Dave, episode 152. So we have been off for a little bit. We have been out moving about, but we not gonna let this calamity that was something that we halfway look forward to.
Here you go with these words, right?
Which was this year's Paris Olympics and the disaster that was breaking. Before we get to that part, though, I will say just a quick medal count on that, man. So the 2024 Olympics medal tally with U.S. coming in, we compete in the most stuff. So of course we got the most medals.
Longer living. Just want to put that out there.
Dang, that's crazy, man. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Recipes. 125 for the United States with 40 of them being gold, 91 for China with 4 of them being gold. So they end up being tied. And if I'm correct, the fact that the one thing that we got disqualified for was that the 4x4. Is that what that was?
The 100.
Yeah, that could have that could have broke the tie as far as like potentially with China for the golds if we had gotten it. Japan coming in with 45 or 20 of theirs being gold, so they almost half of theirs they got gold in. Australia at 52 with 17 gold, and the host country France 64 medals with 16 gold. It was a really dope Olympics. I thought the presentation was dope. I've heard a lot of stories of stuff behind the scenes and stuff like that, but that's part for the of course every year the handoff from the Paris folks over to the 2028 host country, which would be the United States via LA with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, setting us up for it.
Snoop Dogg just winning.
He went everywhere, man. And how that ties into what we're talking about. They are the OGs of hip hop. At one time, I felt like they were the gatekeepers of hip hop. We need y'all back because that shit that they call breaking. We got a bronze out of that, and it wasn't even us. The United States got a bronze. We didn't get anything. And we had a young lady out of Australia by the name of Rachel Gunn. She goes by Ray Gunn. That's her breakdance name. That's her breakdance name. And she has become a meme. I've seen everything from underwater swimmers reenacting her performance. They did an AI generated thing of her performance. She even did like a response on TikTok saying, "Hey, I do my thing." They call it clapping back at haters. I hated everything about that. I hated the fact that you had the nerve to consider yourself anything hip hop and breaking. Y'all should bring the white lady who did the little YouTube video like this.
Because hip hop is like bow, bow. Say bow, bow. Oh my God.
I would have took the white dude, you know, what's the little church joint? The little we seen the meme or something. It's like the group that's singing, and the dude he be doing like the heel toe joint, you know what I'm talking about?
The white, yeah.
I would have took him. I would have fucking took him.
Nah, but you know what? All jokes aside, like the shit that pisses me off is that you knew. First of all, not so much on her. Like it ain't her fault. Whose fault it is the Olympic Committee, yo.
Right.
The Olympic Committee fucked up with this shit because my thing is like if anything you knew in 2028, the country that birthed this shit, you should have just debuted it there. Because at least I would have said at least there.
Yeah.
I felt like they would have paid a little bit more homage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To the art. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they didn't have some original DJs that I'm like you could have had fucking Grandmaster Flash. Shit, you could have had Red Alert. Somebody. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could have did that. The Kid Capri. I wouldn't even wanted to see Crazy Legs, but I heard Crazy Legs got caught up in some stuff. But you know, you could have had some pioneers that was part some. It should have been graffiti instead of a boombox. Should have been a graffiti. Like, what?
When you saw the group box, did you feel like they were just like it was the equivalent to when that school? I forgot what school it was. They served that pretty much that black meal. They served like chicken and shit for like Juneteenth. Like
we had spoke about it.
Yeah, man. Like that's how I feel when I was watching this. I'm like, so that's what we're doing, huh? This is
and the crazy thing is like I felt like there was so many other people they could have used, bro. There wasn't not one judge that I recognized, and I'm just like, and that's a problem,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So it was almost a mockery. I mean, I was a little taken back that the shit was in the Olympics anyway. I mean,
That's where I was about to go with it.
There were so many other sports that should have been. I would have took bowling in the Olympics. I mean, they
could have had cornhole before that. They got leagues and shit.
Something.
It's just, and it makes. I mean, I'm not shocked at all that this is the first and last.
Yeah. It's
embarrassing.
And you didn't even have a crowd. There was no energy behind it. All the breakers out there.
You threw it at the very end of the 2 weeks.
But who didn't I say that? I was like, watch breaking come on the last 2 days or the day
everybody that left.
Man, motherfuckers is home. Motherfuckers on IG with they with the medals. You know what I'm saying? Home chilling with their family or whatever. Y'all still at the Olympics while they doing breaking. It's fuck that opening and closing ceremony.
You mean to tell me you couldn't get Turbo from breaking up there? You couldn't get Lil Kim. She was in goddamn what? I forget the movie they had.
But yeah, you couldn't Turbo.
Yo, they sat back and they said, "Hey, we want to have breaking in the Olympics." Oh,
That'd
what's breaking?
Great idea.
You know what they did? They showed the movie "Say the Last Dance."
You could have had the white lady. You could have had the white girl that was from that was in breaking. For all I care, shit.
And you know how I know this was a farce because they decided not to bring it back to 2028, and that was decided beforehand. That wasn't something
before they
yeah. So I was reading a report that was decided beforehand that they were going to bring it back.
Saw her warm up, and they're like, "Nah."
The crazy part about old girl, so the companies, but the countries, they select their, whatever their committee. So the committee that selected her was a committee that her and her husband apparently coached and started.
She's like a professor of hip hop.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes,
I'm dead serious.
Yes,
she's a solo babe.
Yeah, bro. Like she. So they started a committee right in Australia, and they had judges, and they put her on. Her team won, which is interesting because her husband coaches that team. They put What?
Now I'm getting even more.
Listen, wait. So just watch this. Rachel Louise Gunn, known competitively as Ray Gunn, is an Australian academic and competitive breakdancer. She is a lecturer in the Department of Media, Communications, and Creative Arts, Language, and Literature. She serves as like a professor for hip hop and breakdancers out there.
She's
so out there, she the shit. She is it.
Everything out there is unseasoned.
I'm getting
That's all I know.
pissed.
All this is
I'm getting
unseasoned.
pissed.
That's
I'm
all.
really getting pissed.
Yeah, all of it.
Oh, jeez.
All of it.
She made it. Man, these stories. She made it to Paris and divided the world.
Man, they could have had the Jabberwockies. They could have had a lot of the.
Bro, they could have got my almost 4-year-old daughter. She got a mean.
Oh man,
They could have had the dancing babies. Remember the dancing babies?
Yes, man. I love that.
Man.
I don't under that was so
the Les twins.
Word,
Yes.
and they from France.
that makes it even worse.
They from France.
That makes it even worse. They could have been.
They probably started bullshit like, yeah, you could have got them 3 girls, the three young girls that's dancing. I think Nora, I don't know, they from like Netherlands or somewhere, or Switzerland or something like that.
Bruh.
Black girls, but they dope.
You could have got whoever was the powers that be. That, and this is the part that's the serious part, is considering that breaking started in the United States. There should have been somebody on that whole council like, hey, we not, y'all not about to make a mockery of this. But somebody thought it was okay. They literally thought the shit was okay. All
right, so this, excuse myself, but I this is another issue that I had. Who put together this American team? Because I got questions. I got a lot of questions.
Is this as bad as the big 3?
No, we're gonna get to that. But who put together this team? Because the fact that not one of them was from the Bronx, I got a problem. I got a problem.
Oh, no Puerto Ricans?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that because I feel like I'm gonna say something ignorant. But
I'm with you. It's okay.
I'm just all I'm gonna say is who put the team together.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Now let's shift.
But like I said, it's as bad as the big 3.
Yeah, so let's shift to that real quick. So okay. Now I'm not gonna be respectful here because this shit is disrespectful. Basketball is what we do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even talking about black folks. It's just as a country. It's what we do. Basketball is what we do. No, football is really what we do, but basketball is what we do. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck thought Jimmy Fredette is that guy? And then why would they pick the lesser of the Barrys? To think like just because his name is Barry, like he should be. He don't even look like a basketball player. He looked like somebody that worked on Wall Street. And then I don't know who Tyrone was, but Tyrone wasn't it. Like he was trash. I'm like, yo, you could have got some. I'm about to say the N-word.
Don't we have a big 3?
We have a big motherfucking 3. Professionals. They passed their prime, but they still out there.
Still would have won that.
And they still would have won that shit.
Look.
You could have put Michael Beasley out there.
If they want to pick, they could. If they wanted to pick, so you talking about the lesser of the Barrys. They could have picked. We had a Barry speak on stage last night, as in Barry Hussein Obama, Barack Obama. Pick a ball better than these motherfuckers, man. Like I don't understand. I don't.
They even got a tournament on.
He said
you could have put Wesley Snipes and Woody
Harrelson.
You know what I'm saying? And pick Duck and shit. And motherfucker, or you could have got Leon and them, Leon and Dwayne Martin. Like, oh my God.
I don't know about Leon. He wanted to come on our show, so at least Dwayne Martin could do it. But shout out to
Leon got another crackhead part to play.
I got
around Christmas.
All right, well, I guess he ain't coming on.
Don't even get me started.
Thanks a lot. He ain't coming on.
Around Christmas time, he got a part.
And then Leon, man, I got respect for you, bro. We appreciate you over here. Just motherfuckers, he's drinking. We appreciate you. Yo, you are the king of the biop. The biopic.
We were taking L's, bro. We just took L's in the Olympics, but salute to the women who held us down on for
track and field,
for gymnastics, for swimming, for
Sunasia, Jordan.
It was yeah, man. It was. I don't know, man. Like, it's the Olympics is starting to become, and we talked about this in our previous episode. I feel like it's starting to become too much. Take some of these events out at this point. Like some of the stuff now is just like they just grasping for straws. You know, we watching track and field, we're doing swimming, we're doing gymnastics. 2028, they're going to debut flag football. So I don't know how that's going to go.
Let me tell you something.
Right.
If that shit don't get right on our home turf, if that shit ain't right, we have a problem. I mean, it's already beefs because old boy, I mean, respecting him, old boy, he felt like he the Michael Jordan of flag football. And I'm like, all right, fam. But at the end of the day, if you was nice in football, you should be in the NFL. Or I should have. I know, but it doesn't matter. I should have heard about you in college football or something. Like, you play flag football when you're 6. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's disrespectful to all the adult flag football players, man.
So slow down. The fact that you a grown ass man and you talking about I'm nice in flag football.
You know, there's frisbee football leagues and stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. Ultimate frisbee. But the fact that you're a grown ass man talking about I'm nice in football, like, hey, yo, slow down. Like, chill out. Chill out. But chill. Like, you broadcasting that, but it's crazy, man.
I can't. You know what? I'm just gonna transition like that because you just disrespected all the flag football people, and I coach.
I just respect him. The kids
so
that play flag.
We ain't gonna talk about lingerie football. Oh, go ahead.
Oh wow.
Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Shawn, Earl, Dave. I'll watch lingerie football. I actually haven't watched that. That's just intense. I ain't gonna lie. It's intense. It's intense. I ain't gonna intense. That's what I meant. Sorry. That's it.
Big crowds, small crowds. Big crowds, small.
Yep. Pretty much. Of course, this podcast won't be what it is, man. If we hadn't, it started on video games. So let's talk about some video games in this case because it's an exciting time for video games. Video Game Corner, man. Brought to you by us because we ain't got nobody to bring this to you yet. So we have been pleasantly surprised and enjoying our college football 25, and it's been out for just a little bit over a month. It already has been dubbed it has the numbers have come out that it is the highest selling video game year over year, and that's only barely a month old. Madden dropped. Madden 25, their newest iteration, has dropped roughly about a week ago. August 13th is when it dropped. And now the question is Madden versus college football, man. What are we doing? How are we liking it? I know I played a game in Madden 25 the other night. Had my heart broken by a crazy catch by Malik Neighbors. But it started off right with Daniel Jones throwing an interception. So it was like the both ends of it. Earl, you haven't played it yet, right? I'm assuming. Not yet. Have you played Madden? Okay. So let me get you guys' take. What do you guys think about it in comparison to what we've been enjoying for the last month on college football?
You got it, Earl.
In all respect, I only played it one time. Maybe it was who I was playing with because I played with the Giants and they all look slow. The graphics to me too just seemed off. I mean, you could tell it's a distinct difference between the graphics on NCAA and Madden. Maybe if I played it, when I play it again, my perception will change a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Even if it does change, it's still apples and oranges when compared to NCAA. And I will say that I think it's going to be solidified that if Madden doesn't step it up and have something to where I know it was like some what was it the licensing situation? Yeah. But they better work hard because if you cannot convert and transfer these classes into Madden, there's no need to play Madden anymore. I already told y'all I only got Madden this year because of this package. You know what I'm saying? And because NCAA was out. But if Madden can't get right, I'm good.
What you think, Dave?
I mostly agree with everything Earl said. I've only played it twice, so disclaimer, I haven't went into any franchises or anything like that.
Right.
I feel like my first time of playing was tainted because I did play with the Giants and they were horrible. It was horrible. And the reason why I could tell it was horrible, when I played the second time, I played with the Bears and I played with them against the Texans, and the game moved a whole lot smoother. So yeah, they're just bad. Let me talk about things I like. I definitely like the commentary more. I could tell that they spend a lot of time on the different sounds of the game and then the commentary to the game, and even with the music that's playing in the background. I really like that feel because it started to give me the feel that you could normally only get from college football.
Right.
So that was cool. Some of the animation of it was totally off to me, and some of the mechanics of it is off. When you see yourself breaking out for a run and your blocker can line up next to you and run with you, but instead they turn their whole body and go a whole nother way in the field, totally off. So same thing on defense. I had somebody that was going for a tackle, and this was a computer generated player. So I was on somebody, I was chasing the person down. I'm thinking the computer player is going to come over. The computer player totally turned off and ran right into a block. So hopefully, I can't judge it yet because it's only been out for a week.
Yeah. Hopefully
they're doing what NCAA is doing, because the one thing that I really like about NCAA, on a weekly to bi-weekly level, they're updating that thing.
Exactly.
They're listening to exactly what people are saying. The users are saying, hey, I'm not liking this. Hey, running into kicks, certain penalties, all these things. Then all of a sudden, next week, it updates real quick and it's taken away. So if more games, not just sports games, but if more games in general just operated that way, if you just listen to the users, not just make the game and then go, all right, well, maybe we'll fix it on the next one. Like, you have a system now where you can just update, just shoot it on out. So Madden, I'll just give it an incomplete right now, but I agree with Earl. Even with certain things that I would like to be updated, it's not going to mess with NCAA football. And I also stand on the fact that if they don't get it to a point where you can bring your draft in, the class in, yeah, I don't know how many people are going to stay on for Madden, especially for next year.
Yeah, the replay value goes down.
That joint on one of those day one Game Pass things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's to add to you guys' point. So another tidbit that I saw, because we were talking about it being the highest selling game year over year last year, it has also tripled the lifetime earnings of their classic NCAA 2007. So it's been crazy numbers. I agree. It does seem a lot slower. And the reason I think it's that way is because, and I was telling Dave this, and it makes a little bit of sense, but so in college football, everything's seems faster because, one, you're not impeded by as many things. What I mean by that is cornerbacks. Cornerbacks aren't as good in college football as they are in the pros, which means that your receiver, if you got a guy who has speed, if that corner is not good, you're running past him. So the perception is he's moving a lot faster because there's nothing to impede his speed. Same thing when you're rushing the quarterback. The offensive line is going to give you a lot more time in the pros than it will in college football. As we saw, we were getting sacked. If you weren't throwing the ball out there really quickly, you had 2 seconds maybe. But to your point, it does seem some slow as far as like how some of the movement is.
Yeah, the mechanics of it.
Yeah, and it's still, while they have kind of gotten rid of that one where your guy would kind of get sucked into the block, to Dave's point, those other things are happening. So I'm like, hey, the animations, as there are the Unreal Engine and those engines exist. These systems like the PS5 and the Xbox, you can see that they're trying to utilize the power of these machines, but they can do more with this. And I know it costs money to do so, but when you're playing games like a Call of Duty, when you're playing some of these RPG games where you can't even tell that it's not a game. Case in point, I'm still playing MLB The Show because I'm playing through the career. But I still believe that is one of the most beautiful sports games outside of golf that you can play. Like everything is so clean and smooth and stuff like that. Hell, even 2K to a certain extent, even though they kind of like they haven't figured out how to correctly develop a.
But you know what?
Yeah.
But before you go deep into that,
yeah,
just because you brought up the show,
yeah,
that's where Madden is about to be.
Yep.
A game that plays so well,
right,
looks so good, but
right.
the only reason Earl and I don't play that game is because you can't have the online play and really franchise that joint out. Something like that will stop a person like us from playing, not because the game's not good, but because the obvious thing that you should add is not there. That's how Madden's going to be.
Gaming is a community.
And think about it.
Yeah.
MLB Show is on Game Pass, and we still
won't
play.
It's a gaming has been a communicable thing for the longest time.
It's been a who?
Communicable.
That ain't no word. Don't do that.
Oh man. Somebody listening.
Yeah,
comments communicable.
Yeah, nah.
Look it up, sir.
Yeah, nah.
You ever heard of communicable disease? But to all of the defects that's happening with Madden, I agree with Dave. I will say I do like the presentation. It does, like, from the new commentary, because I really got tired of Charles. I think it's Charles Day, I think his name is, and that shit got stale. So I like, because there's 3 different broadcast groups. There's 3 different broadcast groups. What?
Communicable. Able to communicate. Able to be communicated to others.
He said that?
Thank you. I said communicable. That's what I said.
Okay.
Thank you.
Check you.
Look, my
Continue on.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I have a very, very exceptional vernacular. You know what I'm saying? So
I apologize because you out here sounding like T.I. Shit.
The presentation and everything else, the overlays are really good. What I do not like about it is, though, on a serious note, I don't like the cartoonish looking play aspect. Like when you pick plays and stuff.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
so,
man.
So that's because so that's what it. Because when I looked at it, it kind of seemed like arcadish.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, the graphics, I was like, it's not bad, but it was like the
overlays look like that because you don't even need that part. I know what they're going for. They're going for when a coach draws up a play, it looks like that. It has that edgy type aspect to it. If I drew up plays from coaching, this is how it would look. But when I'm playing this, it needs to be nice and smooth, in my opinion, because they got the camera angles. They're even utilizing that Fox camera angle when it blurs out all the time and it looks gamey. That's why when you're watching a real game, you're like, damn, that looks like Madden. They're using that tech. So I like that aspect. Again, we haven't jumped into the franchise. I understand they have improved it a lot, even though even on the draft day stuff. I'm curious to see how that's going to go because I think the franchise part, when we were going through our draft, which we love doing, so MLB, y'all need to get that right. I always wanted more out of that. I needed more to make it feel like an event. So that part there, but it does not hold a candle to college football from the standpoint of the energy around college football is still great. I still don't like the fact that if your team is trash or you're blowing a team out, that the stands are still full. Let's make it more realistic because NBA 2K got that right. If you're playing with the Washington Wizards, it's like 13 people in that goddamn arena. I'm gonna tell you that right.
You talking about in NCAA or you
in Madden? In Madden. So yeah, if your team is bad or if you're losing, and remember I told you guys, I guess a couple of years ago when we started the pod, and it's like it wasn't really pushed out there. Apparently, the owners of the teams did not like the fact that their stadiums were not represented with full crowds. So it was rumored that EA, from that point, started making the stadiums full. But hey,
but they definitely shouldn't, because also to the point of and I believe you still got that way to do it now when you're the owner and you know how you gotta do everything from the vending, from the concession stands and all that type of stuff, and that's how you get more fans coming in. So they definitely should show that.
Right. When I play,
but real talk, I mean,
FedEx. Oh, they didn't call FedEx no more. That's just not.
Ain't nobody leaving, even if you're getting blown out. ain't nobody leaving, especially at Giant Stadium. As much as them tickets cost, I'm staying. The only time I'm gonna leave, only time I'm gonna leave is maybe like in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to beat the. I ain't even beating the traffic because you don't go nowhere. You just go back in the parking lot, tailgate.
I'll say this, Earl, because last year, if you guys haven't seen it, look online. Look at one of the games for the Carolina Panthers last year. That shit looks like a high school game for that stadium.
Well, they had tickets for under $10. I heard.
Yeah. So now if I'm playing Madden and I'm playing against the Carolina Panthers and they got a full stadium, I'm asking what the holy fuck is happening because they don't have that many.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
Yeah, that's not realistic at all. You want the realism. I don't care what them goddamn punk ass owners are thinking. You still getting paid.
If you want, at the end of the day, because like especially too, like I would be pissed if I'm paying $200 and something and the product is trash.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's try. Since we were talking about Madden v college football, I'll give a round of applause to these two national champions right here. I don't know how many titles y'all got at this point. I think Dave might have one or two, maybe on college football. I think Earl, you got a couple, if I'm correct.
I have two. Dave got like 4 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. He got like 19.
Put some respect on it.
I don't know.
Right, listen, I gave you. I said Dave.
No. I was talking to Shawn.
Okay.
I didn't know. You know,
I do want to just reiterate that me and Dave had a good game. You know, and I'm not trying to take nothing away from the brother. I'm not trying to take nothing away from the brother. It was a great game, but the last maybe two, was it like? No, it was a minute.
It's about a minute and a half left.
Yeah, because I got the ball back. It was less than a minute that I got the ball back.
You were driving down to either tie with the field goal or win with the touchdown.
It was like, you know what? Give me a shot. You know what I'm saying? Give me a shot. Either I throw an interception, I go down the field, I don't convert, or I make a field goal. Like, just give me a shot.
I want you to hear about this play.
What was done was his defender, I don't even know, I guess it was a linebacker or somebody.
It was a linebacker.
My quarterback just dropped back. He didn't get the ball knocked out. He didn't get to throw the ball. Yo, my man just said, "Yo, give me that." Just give me that. That's how
he lost the game.
And he scored a touchdown. That was a game. And
he ripped it right out his arms and ran into the touchdown.
He didn't knock it down
it
fumbled. No, he snatched it out of his hands. As much as we played, I've never seen that.
Never seen it.
Did your quarterback have a question mark above his head?
Dog, I don't even know. But even if he had a question mark,
that might have happened. I love that aspect of college football because if the game is too overwhelming for the player, because it happened when we played the other night, and I'm playing in a game, and the quarterback has a question mark over his, I'm like, oh shit. So I'm playing against.
That is a dope part of the game.
Yeah, man. I'm playing, and I guess I'm Florida in this case, bro. So I'm playing against I think Tennessee or somebody playing, and I'm sitting there, man, and I call a passing play, run play. I'm sorry, I call a run play. Hike the ball. This mofo drops back to pass, but he won't pass the ball. He's just holding on to it. He won't. You're pressing. He will not pass the ball. He's panicking. So all I can do is try to run with the ball to keep from taking the sack. He fumbles it, and you know. That's
let me tell you another side of the question mark. And this is somebody I brought in a rookie, a freshman at quarterback.
They the worst.
In the first game playing against a big team, we're driving down the field. And he has the question mark above him. So I had a pass play, but then I audibled out of the pass play. Tell me why they ran a run play. So if you're not prepared to run a run play, you're dropping back to do a pass. Just imagine how this play looked. So I'm dropping back as if I'm the quarterback, dropping back for a pass. Meanwhile, my running back has the ball and I'm running backwards. I said, yo, this is too much.
I love the game, man. Like to the updates that are happening. It's the energy around the game has been great the whole time. I actually enjoy it, and they continue adding things to it. And I wonder what those offices are like, considering that you got a team on the college football side, a team on the Madden side, and they're competing against each other. And again, just like it was back in the day, college football is ahead of Madden because that was the thing then before they went away in 2014. Once again, college football has reclaimed the throne as the best football game out, period. Out, period. That's no way to go around that. I think that's a good, way to transition that. I guess, and since, we like giving information, we're going to go into a real estate corner. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it.
Damn, that is what I used to look like. All right, so real quick with Dave. Real quick, this will be a quick one. I've been preparing everybody for things changing up in the real estate market. That has happened now through these different lawsuits that have happened through the NAR, National Association of Realtors.
Yeah, make sure you say that right. It almost came out right.
So when you sit back and you look at everything, don't be scared, but make sure you're dealing with a professional, because everything's about to start heating up in the real estate market. If you haven't heard, in September, the Fed should be starting to drop rates. I don't know if it's going to be by 0.25% or 0.5%, but either way, it's going to start dropping. And if you remember, probably around the end of last year, I was telling everybody, trust me, it's going to start dropping towards the end of next year because we're in election season and it always happens. So yeah, expect rates to start dropping. But the thing is, you have to do your due diligence as far as who's representing you, because there's a lot more things that are on the table that they have to know. So if you're standing by somebody that really doesn't know their craft and doesn't do their due diligence and doesn't do the training and doesn't go to certain workshops and get updated on things, this is really going to wean out the weak. It just really is this time period. I'm fine because I know I'm strong in this market. But you're going to have these people that just sign off on paperwork and open up doors and then, expect everything to go smooth, kind of fall out of this whole business because there's a lot more T's and a lot more I's to dot. So T's to cross and I's to dot, I should say. Some of the changes, and I just want to put this out there as like an asterisk because it's not a big change. You hear about commissions and things like that. Commissions have always been negotiable, but now it's going to be broken down where the agent is breaking down the fact of the lawsuit and how people are represented, and the buyer is responsible for any difference in commission less than whatever percentage it is that you're agreed upon. Now, these sellers are going to come out and feel like they're smart in a sense if the listing agent doesn't take control of the situation and explain the state of the market. And you're going to hear some sellers say, hey, well, I'm not paying the buyer agent's commission. Well, that's fine, but that listing agent should let them know up front that may stop eyes on your property. Because if a lot of these people are first-time home buyers, how are you expecting them to do a down payment, pay the closing costs, pay for an inspection, pay for an appraisal, and now they got to pay $10,000 and up extra at closing because they got to pay the full commission? So if you think you could have done that when you were a buyer, then that's fine. But if you just want less eyes on your properties or less feet, I should say, on these floors as far as seeing it, then yeah, don't pay the commission. But not everybody's going to be able to do that. So the negotiation just has to be out there. Don't be scared as the buyer. Make sure your agent knows these changes, is explaining these changes. Make sure your agent is honestly lives up to the commission. Because the worst case scenario, you got to pay for it. They better be representing you the right way. So if you need to know more about these things, reach out to me. I'm Dave. Once again, with the Story Group over at Exit Community Realty. I can be reached at 410-845-0665. Only real people call. Thank you. That's the Real Estate Corner.
Yes, sir. The Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Shawn, Earl, Dave, episode 152. We're not going too long though, but a lot of good stuff we dropped on you guys tonight though. But our not so breaking news has always been one of our most popular segments because of some of the things that we just find out that happens around the globe. And I don't think this is going to be nothing that's going to be short of it's important, I guess. I don't know.
Not so breaking news.
When the last time y'all been to Chick-fil-A?
It's been a minute.
Been a while. You know how you like that spicy chicken and the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Oh, don't do this to me.
No.
Don't do
You
this.
Earl?
Don't do this to me.
Earl, no?
Don't do
No,
this. Don't do this.
So Chick-fil-A is dropping something new on us, and it's something that you're not expecting. It's not a new sauce. It's not a new chicken sandwich. It's a streaming service. Chick-fil-A is on the verge of actually bringing out its own streaming service as reality TV comes home to Roost. So this is according to a story off of Deadline.com. And this is not some fake stuff that's coming up. This is actually a real thing. So Chick-fil-A is moving aggressively into the entertainment space with plans to launch a slate of originals for its own streaming platform. Deadline understands that the fast food firm has been working with a number of major production companies, including some of the studios, to create family-friendly shows, particularly in the unscripted space. It is also in talks to license and acquire some content. So, we had Netflix and Chills. Now we got Chick-fil-A and Chill. How y'all feel about this, man? Do we need another streaming service? We need? Yeah, we already got Tubi, right? We already got that.
Have they not done their own due diligence on the fact of well-known companies that are shutting down their streaming services?
Right.
So, I hear I believe Apple TV is going to be one of them.
Yeah.
That's looking at either slowing down or completely shutting down their whole streaming. So if Apple as a company couldn't provide enough shows and things like that of interest to the people, Chick-fil-A?
But to that point, though, they always used to say an apple a day keep the doctor away. So don't really people eat that much apple. So they eat more Chick-fil-A than that. So I can see why that's going down.
You know what?
What?
Unless they're about to tell me that 50 Cent signed on and that Power is now going to be on the Chick-fil-A streaming service, I don't know what they can do to make people come over.
Yo, they go. You can see that cow every goddamn well. Eat more chicken. I saw this. I said, this can't be real. This cannot be real. But dead ass, they are doing a streaming service.
There's too many now, bro. There's so many streaming ones that it's like that one show is on there. You don't even want the whole streaming joint. It's just that one show. Earl already knows. I only put stars on to watch Power. And then I shut the joint off.
I wonder if these shows gonna be as dry as their waffle fries when you don't put no goddamn salt on them shits. Because your ass will choke out. I'm just saying, it can happen. You use the sauce.
Well, you know what? Go ahead.
This is go say it first, because what I'm about to say is gonna be rather controversial. I will say. So what you got?
Now the only thing I don't want to switch it from Chick-fil-A. I'm just saying, since you're in the fast food side of things, I guess everybody's doing something different because you see the menu that's coming out for McDonald's.
Yeah, we get to that.
The Mac chicken.
So before
brother.
Yeah, before
now you know the funny thing is my bad. I mean to cut you off, Shawn. So I kind of invented that years ago.
What, Chick-fil-A streaming service?
No, with McDonald's. So like, there was a lot of different things that I thought about, like in them really disrespectful fat stages. Like, I said, I don't know why like they didn't have a Big Mac chicken. I even thought about it for the fish, the fillet of fish, but with the Mac sauce, because the Mac sauce made the Big Mac. I saw something now. They got some mozzarella sticks now.
Yep. Girls paid, brother.
Yeah, but like I used to
wear that polo today. That's why you wearing that goddamn polo.
I had a presentation.
You presented the new thing to McDonald's.
I used to cross-pollinate when I was younger.
I cross-pollinated the other night. I ain't gonna lie to you. Go ahead.
That sounded
yeah, I don't know what that's about, but
no,
cross-pollinating that I'm talking about is I used to go to McDonald's and get the Mac sauce and the Sprite.
This is not setting up right now.
Then I would go
then
I would go take that Mac sauce and go to Burger King to get a Whopper and put the Mac sauce on the Whopper. And then I would go to Checkers and get the fries. So I made the ultimate meal from the best of the best, in my opinion.
Earl, I need you to only say this once on the podcast.
Nah, I mean, I ain't proud of it, but I did this a couple of times, and I mean, I think the worst was the fact that they gave me mac sauce. I mean, you had to pay like a couple $, but they gave me mac sauce. So the fact that they even allowed me to do that is ridiculous. But yeah.
So let me wrap this up. So basically, you went to McDonald's to cross pollinate. You grabbed the mac.
You came out with that sauce
with a Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
Threw it on top.
Double
meat. Meat.
Pause. I don't know about that. That's the double meat. That's crazy. It's crazy. I was with you I was with you until you said the double meat. That is absolutely crazy.
Oh man, I saw that and I was like, wow, McDonald's is still, and they had to do that because remember they raised the prices and that didn't work out too well for them. So they was like, you know what, we need to follow like Wendy's did and hit it with that biggie bag. I
don't apparently there's a commercial. There's a commercial out that said because McDonald's got something equivalent to a biggie bag, and they said something like, "Yo, this is how you know it's the official biggie bag if it got our name on there." I was like, "Oh." So,
hey, I tell you what though, McDonald's don't talk too slick because last time y'all did that, Pusha T dropped the diss track, and that shit ain't work out too well for him. Yeah. Before we get off the other one, I will say this thing about the Chick-fil-A streaming service. And it says because they were concentrating or looking into family-friendly content. This is the same company, if you remember, that had an issue with families or the non-traditional families, if you want to call it that. So you can look into that to how you want. So I wonder how that's going to go over. What type of family-friendly content they're gonna have on there, because I feel like that's going to exclude a lot of people if they're real
talk. They need to save their money and their time because ain't nobody trying to see that.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Any case, man, this is the Hot Seat Podcast with your boy Shawn, Earl, Dave. This podcast won't be what it is, man, if we had not taken our Xbox Live conversation, which we're still going, and it's still called Xbox Live. They just got rid of the Xbox Gold on it. That's what they got rid of. Rest in peace. If we had taken our conversation from there and bring them over to the podcast space. So, of course, you can find me on Xbox at Sanai2X. Some dope games coming out. They had a new game convention that happened, and I saw the trailer for the new Indiana Jones game, which looks fantastic.
That'll be on Game Pass, by the way.
Yep, it will be on Game Pass as well.
Namely.
And we are exactly a little over a month away from My City Skylines 2 coming to console. Yeah. The official trailer. You better set that shit up. I want to hear that right now.
You didn't hear that? I just pulled it up. They pushed it.
It's October.
It's back there with Blade.
I'll be so mad about that shit.
They said they're not making it anymore.
It's already made, brother. Yeah, the official console trailer. I've watched it like 30 times, like I've never seen it before. October it does drop.
They said it's only for Nintendo Switch.
I'll be so fucking mad. That's it. Did you see how they did that Mortal Kombat on Nintendo Switch? It looked like something from like the GameCube days. It was disgusting. So now 2X, man, on Xbox, man. Come get at me. Let's go.
Oh man, the storyteller. You already know I'm on the NCAA football. I'm going to be on the Madden. We're pretty much waiting until next week to really do our league, waiting for the last cuts so it doesn't have to update. Also, I just had pre-ordered the NBA 2K, so I already got that pre-ordered. That'll be coming out in the next, I think, week and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really that quick?
Say that again?
I said really that quick? That soon?
Yeah, it's normally like, I believe so. I got to look
I thought it was like September.
Bruh, September is
literally like.
I mean, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. He's back in school, y'all. He's back in school, y'all. Nah, you don't know what day and time it is.
Y'all ain't gonna move my days. I'm in August.
But yeah, got all that, and then actually waiting for some of these shows to start up. I'm very mad at my brother right now because I can't really go deep into like Deadpool and stuff like that. He really fell off the wheel on this one. I just never seen him like this before. I feel really disrespected. But we'll talk about that at another time. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
They canceled the Acolyte too, by the way. I'm mad about that shit too. So
I'm good.
Is that Star Wars jump?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it was trash.
No, it wasn't. But that's gonna be a separate conversation. I got a conversation we're gonna have about that. That's gonna be very uncomfortable for a lot of people listening and watching. And I don't like the trend that what I'm seeing, but I'll leave it there right now. So go ahead, Earl. What you got?
NJ Fatboy 973. I had to think about it for a minute.
You got your game tag for a second?
Yeah, I had to think about it. NJ Fatboy 973. I think we retired Call of Duty, even though they just.
No, I was just about to say Call of Duty's last season just came out. I will be rocking on that, but then just remember the next Call of Duty is going to be on Game Pass also.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, we retired Call of Duty. I heard what he said. We retired Call of Duty. NCAA is the shit.
Mm-hmm.
We are knee deep in that shit. I guess we're gonna give Madden a shot.
Yeah.
Hopefully today we can actually do the fantasy. We got time. And then you know what? I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Shawn for bringing me back to Game Pass. I'm kind of a person who stays in the realm of playing the same trio of games. But Game Pass allowed me to venture out and see other stuff. I think my son also, because he seen me playing, he's like, "Ooh, what's that?" Because he see all of the covers and stuff, and so I might download a couple so he can play and get another controller. But yeah, bowling. I bought bowling PBA, and I will say that as a bowler, I appreciated the details, the different equipment and stuff like that. Like, I think it's dope. So in between, like, we ain't playing this, I just want to break up the monotony of the games that we've been playing.
What's monotony? That ain't a word. Monotony.
It is. Then I throw in that PBA and it's very dope. So yeah, man, shout out to PBA, man. Come out with 24. You got me.
Real quick, NBA 2K25, September 6th. If you pre-ordered, you have access September 4th, I believe.
Got you. Oh, shoot. I forgot one thing. And it almost slipped my mind. Yes. It's that time of year again. Hot Seat Podcast presents Football Talk Live, our season debut. This a couple Sundays from now, Sunday, September 8th, 9:30 a.m., exclusively on YouTube. Join me, the homie, Dave, Earl, for an hour and a half of all of our NFL and college football analysis, our picks, our gripes, our tag me ins, our live chat and callers and whatever we got going on. It's going to be a fun season. So make sure if you haven't subscribed, another reason to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hot Seat Podcast presents Football Talk Live on YouTube. Absolutely. And we're going to talk about some NFL stuff that happened. We went long tonight, so we can save it for next episode.
Yeah.
Some of our Madden ratings and stuff like that. I see your face now, Earl. Shut your face. That's all we got, man. Anything else we got on the agenda tonight? Cool, man. Enjoy you guys' weekend. We're getting the summer days are closing out. All the babies are starting to go back to school.
Yeah, it's hoodie season at this point.
It is, absolutely is. And check out the website because our official hoodie will be going on pre-order in a week. So we will have our official Hot Seat Podcast hoodies that'll be ready for pre-order in about a week. So it's gonna be fun, man. But again, it's the Hot Seat, bro. Make sure you subscribe to the show and stuff, and click the link in the show notes for that $35 free shipping on your Instacart if you still do that. That's all I got.
seed.